Hey everybody, welcome back. We're having actually a friendly argument over what fried dough should be called. We call it doughboys in New England. I think that's out of an old Rhode Island phrasing that we all now use. Aaron's calling them elephant ears, which sounds horrible and murderous. Sounds like something that Trump Jr. would do. And then Frank has called them pizza frita.
Yeah, pizza frita.
Pizza frita. So,
Yes. Pizza fried.
Ollie and Rick, do you guys have a name for these
My
delicious?
opinion is we don't fry anything here in the UK. That's an American fucking thing.
Lies. You have French
But
fries.
you fry. Yeah, but we don't fry everything weird. I think French
Wait.
fries are the
Wait a minute.
only fairly.
What about fish and chips?
Fish and chips. You invented it. That's fried fish.
Yeah.
I guess it's bad at fry. Okay, we don't fry weird shit. I've watched this whole show. It's basically here in America, you can sell anything that's fried. I'm gonna fry this apple. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm gonna fry this brownie.
Wait a
Everyone's
second.
gonna buy
Wait a
it.
second. You're telling me you've
No,
never
no.
had deep fried Oreos or deep fried
Oh,
pickles?
that's disgusting.
Oh my god,
Oh,
so
deep fried
good.
pickles are fantastic.
Okay,
Oh.
deep fried Mars bars
Gross.
exist as a
No.
niche item. I've not had one.
You never had a fried ice cream?
Oh wait,
Yeah,
yes,
it doesn't
I have
exist
had fried
either.
ice cream.
I was like, 'cause all your weird fried shit doesn't exist. There's things that's like, oh, I wouldn't fry that because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't exist here.
You tell me
So-
you've never had
My
deep fried
opinion is
ice cream.
Doughboys and elephant ears, terrible names.
Ollie, until you've had
One-
deep fried red bean ice cream, you haven't lived.
What's red bean ice cream?
Red bean ice cream is actually really good.
Right?
Um,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's ice cream made out of red
bean ice
beans.
cream's delicious.
What?
What's a red bean ice cream flavored like?
It tastes like a red bean, but very sweet. So it's like
What's
a
a
sweet,
red bean?
like a kidney bean.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you
That's
you
what I
have
was
that
worried
reaction.
about.
Ollie, the reaction to that is correct, but it's actually great.
And deep fried, it's even better.
Deep bean, but I don't want it in ice cream or
Uh,
deep fried.
Ollie,
Well,
Ollie, I can't wait till you come to the U.S. again.
I'll try it. Like I'll happily try it, but it sounds
Well,
fair.
here's the thing: we call it red bean, made out of red bean. It's a Japanese bean.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese ice cream. It's
Yeah.
actually a very sweet ice cream.
Yeah. But
It's
okay,
delicious.
okay. And Rick, what do you guys call fried dough?
I don't even know if we have that here because we are sane people.
Are you saying the Italians are insane?
Okay,
Well,
fair,
you be
fair,
correct.
fair. Okay, all right, we'll move on. So while we weren't live, that's why we wasted time doing this. While we weren't live, we actually took care of making sure all so just to sum it up really quickly, the ship as things were fitted was missing some mass, so we sold off one of the guns, or we got rid of one of the guns, left it on the old ship, part of the trade, whatever. We reverse power trunk to turn some power into mass. So now the ship sits at 0 mass and 1 power for having everything as it's fitted with like your medical bay and all that stuff. Yay! Moving on. So the Rick, for what you do, and then we can get to the other two.
Yeah,
you
there was
have
actually 2 things I was planning on doing, aside from also going to visit my little stash.
well, why don't we do the stash last? So tell me
Alright.
other things.
I would like to reach out to my contacts because I'm interested in acquiring a black slab, which is,
Oh.
I imagine, like the Mass Effect version of this would be just an Omni tool, even further modified for like insidious hacking shit, even
It's 10K,
further than
isn't
the
it?
engineer one.
It's 10K, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the top of my head. I'm gonna go look it up really quickly. But yeah, why don't you roll me that check, sir? I think it's around like page 50-ish is where equipment is. No, or is it below that?
70.
70. Thank you. So I'm gonna look that up while you roll me your. Oh no, it's Winnie. So whenever you get a second.
What do you want me to roll?
No, you.
Okay.
I said your name because I was looking at
Let's
the
pay
the
attention.
chat. Nope, you're fine.
Yeah, so do I need to roll connect or?
Please connect, and for this one, charisma check. That's usually what connect is. Well, black slab appears to be noble. Hacking attempts work with them, and they firmly illegal in most worlds. Perfect. So with your connect check, it's one of those things where you actually do come across somebody that you know is selling them. However, this person's borderline a street vendor. So it's one of two things. One, a source where you don't think this person's gonna be ultra quiet and like it's super 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 safe to buy from. Like if they were in a pinch, they might sell you out. Like this is borderline a street vendor hot item kind of sale. Or two, this might be a trap. This could actually be the CSEC, undercover trying to nab somebody making the purchase. This isn't a secure connection that you have here. So, but definitely somebody you were able to find and securely find the information, so like it's not known that you're asking for it.
I'll pass in that case because this is a very hot item. I don't want to just get it off the street of someone who might be seasick.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know if you wanted to
Could've
just
been
send a
another
hot
idea.
item to get it, and then all of a sudden, Entree's over there like, hey.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want, do you want, if you let it be known, I can do connect, and even Winnie could do connect. I mean, she's a hacker-ish.
I'll
Wow.
bring it up, yeah, just
Wow.
because I failed. And
The
feel
Quarians
horrible
know
now.
where to get that stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm saying Winnie knows how to get that stuff.
you
and
say,
she's
oh,
a
you
Quarian.
want something super illegal? Ask the Quarian. She's gonna know somebody. It's messed
I
up,
mean, the
man.
Quarians might have a different approach to black slaps and hacking stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What was it charisma?
Charisma Connect, sir. Please and thank you.
Oh. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Apparently you
See,
do.
there we fucking go.
Apparently you know.
That's why we all have connect, because one of us
Yeah,
is gonna know.
we're the most connected
someone.
fuckers in this galaxy.
That's
somehow.
why we're shady.
Your connection's actually a super easy one, Ollie. Your handler happens to be on the Citadel, and you know for a fact she can get you a clean one. No trace, no anything, no markings, no serial numbers, nothing. A perfectly clean one. Of course, you're gonna have to pay for it with either like a task or cash, preferably cash or whatever. But you're gonna have to pay for it. But she can get you a perfectly clean one.
I will tell Cattle that as long as he's not going to do it for any nefarious deeds, we can organize it.
Hey,
Which I know is a completely
Hacking thing for
counter.
bad stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know where you get that idea. If you bring it up, I'm just gonna say it might help us on the mission.
Yeah,
Ollie?
and
Frank, what were you gonna say?
do you tell the crew that you're going to go see your handler?
Ooh,
yes.
You get like the Krogan equivalent of a raised eyebrow, because there's something that Krax has that you wanted to give to your handler. The information on the Solarian stuff.
Did I talk to you about that?
Yes, we meld.
Yeah, but I'm better at hiding my meld secrets.
Oh, okay. In that case,
Because
I
I'm
mean-
not an amateur.
in that case,
Because I forgot that I was gonna.
because Krax can give it to you if you ask. He'll give it to you.
Then sure,
Yeah.
why not? Right, kill two birds, one stone.
I'll
But
meld with
if
you
I'm
for
taking-
it.
If I'm taking cattle with
No.
me, maybe I shouldn't sell. I don't remember what this was. What am I even selling?
Oh, so remember you guys came across that derelict Solarian spaceship that you ripped the gun off
yeah.
of and his armor came off of? So there was information about an old general that was on that ship that was his
Government
name was
shattering information.
yeah his name was dragged through the dirt and made him look bad as somebody that more or less perpetuated the war with the Krogan as opposed to trying to broker a peace with them.
Okay, yeah,
That's
then
nice armor, though.
I'll absolutely trade that for the black slap.
Well, I want to hear the conversation between the two of you as you request this information. Entertain me, puppets.
From Frank,
Oh,
because
Krax-
I'm very confused about the whole
Interaction?
that's going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably been brought up that Krax already gave the information to his uncle or his brood uncle, who's going
Would
to
you have,
reveal it
like,
at the right
mentioned
time.
that? Or would we have
Not to
found
the
out?
crew.
We know we're close ish.
Because of the melding.
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 Then
Because
yeah,
of the not fucking.
it's not
So-
sex.
Mind fucking.
Because it's been like months since that.
Let's just say the meditation area has space for a Krogan now. He's not
Already.
used it since.
Go ahead.
But
Top or bottom?
Go ahead.
But yeah, if Onteri ever brought that up to him because she knows he gave that information. He doesn't know that she gave it.
Yeah, from what I'm understanding is, I say I'm going to see a handler, you give me a look, I then try and work out what that look means.
It's like they...
We work it out. I'm like, oh, I can sell this. Good one, Cracks.
And yeah, just like, you know, he goes to give her a goodbye hug and like slips her the data disk.
Where are you guys doing this?
In my room, clearly.
In her room.
It's like, how I imagine is like I'm gonna go see my handler to buy the cattle like in the common room, right? And then Cracks gives me a look, and I look at him.
We're like,
try to tell what it is.
let's
I
go.
don't know-
there.
And there's an
Yeah.
insta-meld.
I'm like-
Ollie, you can insta-meld with him right there.
Yeah.
It's very tiring though, so I wouldn't do it. Insta meld is more tiring than normal meld for me.
Well, I thought you could send mental messages to me. I just can't
Yeah,
send them back.
it exhausts.
Okay, I know that.
So I would not do it until I need to. Is basically the point. But if I was close to you, I can meld.
Yeah.
it out, and I
That case.
think about penalty now.
No need to actually meld, but
No.
Suddenly,
no.
the two of them fall flat in the middle of the common room. Nobody thinks anything of it.
Yeah, we awkwardly go off to my room. And there's a conversation that isn't exactly quiet because there's a Krogan in it as one half of it.
We've all
And
been to
then-
those parties. You know, everybody's standing around having a good time. There's like 15 people in a room. Two of them just like awkwardly look at each other and just leave the room at about the same time and go into another room by themselves. And you're just kind of like, none of us know what's going on right now. Not a single person.
one thing that you'll get about Cracks is like in his quarters, he's like torn the place apart looking for cameras or anything to record. So he's definitely referring to it as the thing. I can give you.
But it
the
would
thing.
take like 10 minutes for me to get the thing.
That just
The
makes it sound
thing.
even dirtier.
So to be
I
clear,
can give you the thing.
Taurians, while being a stricter, a very stringent, very structured, militaristic environment, and it's all about chain of command and stuff like that throughout their entire society and blah, 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 they do, of course, understand and believe in the notion of privacy. Unless they were put there later on, and that has not been done yet, there are not cameras in every room. There are not listening devices in every room. That is not a part of the Taurian structure. There's
it's not the Taurian
trust,
you
and there's
know about.
respective chain of command, so you don't have to worry about like what's the
I don't
crew
think,
up to.
uh,
So just to make that clear, and you guys would
Yeah,
know that.
it's
So whether
the
Cracks-
Solarian he's worried about.
Yes, but it's not like it's been installed yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I understand he could be like pressing his ear against the door.
box is a bunch of like spying equipment. Sure. Then I would go to my handler to basically trade that intel for the Black Slab and not ask for anything else, but clearly know that might well.
Cool. All right. So you take the data stick from him and you go and meet your handler. So when you meet with her, you go to, so this actually will be an RP thing as opposed to just you give her money and da 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 da.
I got stuff to update her on. Now that I think about it, it's a
Mm-hmm.
reason to be on this stuff.
So when you guys go to meet, it's one of those things where the meeting could take some time for her to actually be able to meet with you. But when you kind of say, "Hey, I have something you were looking for," you know, your vague hint dropping that you have this item, she jumps like, "I'll meet with you like next available opening," which will be very shortly thereafter, right? And so she will meet with you, but this is not going to be like we're sitting at a bar. You guys are actually going to meet in the Presidium and have a nice walk around the waterways.
We're
of
gonna
the
walk and
Presidium.
talk.
Yeah, walk and talk.
Nice.
So as you guys were doing that and having your conversation, I hit a spring. So
Well done.
Sounded like a truck or something.
sorry. So yeah, the as you guys are walking and talking, when you guys first meet, she does gives you the hug, the kiss on the cheek. It's very, holds hands for a few moments. I hope the
friendly.
goddess has smiled upon you and brought, great successes your way. How is your time? And you guys can work your way through the small talk, which I'm not going to kind of like force you to do that right now. So you guys work your way through like a little bit of small
Want to get
talk,
to the meat?
and then I'll allow you to kind of like segue into it. Because you're the one that has the info. She's just kind of like hoping what you have.
Well, the reason why I bring you this intelligence is because a black slab or a highly optimized Omni tool will be greatly important on our new mission. Cadlolan has us on a job to infiltrate a human planetoid. I have been told repeatedly it does not classify as a planet by other races' standards, named Pluto, in order to take down an organization by the name of Cerberus, if that rings a bell.
How have you heard of the Cerberus?
Oh, you know, we
Uh,
flew out there, we nearly died. We were contracted to kill a guy, you know, the usual way.
Through our job with the Blue Suns, it turns out that the Blue Suns are puppets of Cerberus, willing or knowledgeable or otherwise, and the Volus that are in charge of the Blue Suns currently are their willing puppets. And we have met and made a very interesting deal with one of them who is no longer interested in their arrangement. In fact, we organized his death.
You mean the Volus that are in charge of this branch of the Blue Suns? Because the Blue Suns are in fact founded and run by humans.
This is all that I know. That there were 3 Volus in places of power. Now there are 2. And they were essentially, apparently, supposedly puppets put in place, or at least nudged, by this human organization, Cerberus. We do not know its... we know its... Actually, we do know its goal is extremely xenophobic and against all other races in Citadel space. So...
Yeah, no, it is definitely a as you were saying, a bit of an insidious organization. So, how recently have you heard of them? Is this all new findings to you? Have you done
This
much
is all
research
very
yourself?
new findings.
Mm-hmm.
Research has been inconclusive.
I have something that you might enjoy the read of. Here, and she kind of like throws like a bit of data to your Om tool, and you kind of like see the ping.
You
just kinda,
glance
read the
it,
title.
yeah.
It's called the Manifesto of Cerberus, and it's written by the Elusive Man. Is like who it says it's authored by, and she's like, that'll be an interesting read for you. That'll give you an idea of the organization that you're dealing with. This was posted throughout the extranet some time ago. It has since been more or less taken down by the request of the Alliance and humans in general, because it looks really bad for them as a newer species on the map. So has mostly been taken down. It can still be found in some reaches of the extranet, but that right there is an original
You can
copy
never
of it.
remove something entirely off the extranet.
No, that is both a wonderful and a horrible thing. It's how we often move through the shadows, is it not? So you need the slab to take down a Cerberus base.
This ice planetoid Pluto is extremely unstable. Their lead base is supposedly on this planet, and we are to disrupt it, if not destroy it.
This is a difficult situation. You see, this planetoid, Pluto, not only your task, your endeavor to destroy a Cerberus base, or potentially the Cerberus base if there's only one, and that's the hope, is a task that I would send you to do. It is an incredibly important and good thing to take care of, and something that I'm going to speak to the to our sisters and the matriarchs about, because this is something that the fact that you've discovered where this place is and that this can be done, potentially even some support could be sent your way, depending on how the scenario is. This is a very sensitive matter and has many lives at stake for what these people are. Now, we can't just go giving the execution order without something condemning, but this is very important, very vital information. However, humanity has a lot of research and whatnot going on that planetoid. They still have this belief that the origin of life on Earth might be able to have been discovered from existing in other planets prior, Pluto being a planet that's locked in ice, they have a lot of research, excavations, and whatnot that are happening there. Often they'll have humans that land on the planetoid to do this research. You could be putting other innocent lives at risk for this, and that could look bad for. I understand you're flying a Taurian vessel now.
Yes.
A Taurian vessel seen in Pluto's space, and a couple of innocent scientists die as the measure, or I don't know a ton about Cerberus, but from what I understand, their members are interwoven with other members of human society. Well-known
I understand
public
that
figures.
this is a objective that may tarnish many of the names involved, which is why we've been trying to leave as small a footprint as possible so far.
Even the names aside, my concern is the names aren't tarnished and their deaths are known, and somehow those deaths are linked back to certain details. That could be devastating galactically.
It could be the first step in something bigger, for better or worse. I cannot deny that. But I still believe it is something to be done, unless you require me to step away from this.
No, this is... I need to speak to the matriarchs about this. An execution order is not being given. You, as I had said before, are instructed to continue working with Cattle. There's a lot of information that you can procure from him, or hopefully have already procured from him. He's somebody that seems to find himself in the right sort of dirty hole that we can either dig a little deeper or clean out entirely. It's a great place for you to be in. It's wonderful training for your future. You need to stay close to this because we need to have... Who else's boots are we going to get on the ice, right? We need you there. Understands that continue moving forward cautiously. If you can hold back from the execution as much as possible until we know more, continue procuring information. That would be the approach that I guide in this. Of course, you're the one that's there. It's your decisions that are going to have to be made when the time comes.
Of course.
If and when that happens, I would expect a full report. Sometimes reports aren't able to be had afterwards. I suggest that to the best of your ability, you keep some sort of notation of what have led up to the decisions that you've made and have them encrypted and sent. I'll set up a channel, an encrypted channel for you to send things through. It'll have many loops and pitfalls so that nobody will really be able to track it. And it'll have a data drop so I can kind of pick things up as they're going. I can follow your mind.
Of course. Do not let me forget the reason for our meeting, and I would hand her the data chip at this point.
Is this...
Solarian intelligence, yes.
She looks down at it and then looks back up at you, and, you know, expressions are generally subtle. And she has like an expression of gratitude and excitement. Like she knows the significance of what this is. And she says, you know, I've heard whispers that this information has already been discovered.
I believe that my Krogan teammate has already leaked least parts of this information, which is why I'm more than certain that it needs to be in the right hands now.
It's been discovered by a colonel within the Solarian government, within the Solarian military, somebody who is very for the genophage and stands very strong on the argument that the genophage needs to continue putting its foot forward, and this kind of information needs to be kept down because of what it allows the Solarian government to continue doing and how it allows itself to continue having its research and its funding of the various other types of biological war that they're able to put forward and how they're able to handle other problems. He's a powerful and ambitious man who's surprisingly young for what he's accomplished. And he's able to get his hands on this information and he has plans for it.
What is this Solarian's name?
His name is Colonel. I don't know if you have your. Okay,
I'm getting my notes.
there you go.
They're out there, got a notepad.
Oh, hey.
It was all the way over there.
No, that's fine. I saw you reach
For a
that, so I was
while.
waiting. It's Colonel Steli Teleka.
What a name.
There's a longer version, but the rest of it doesn't matter.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
And she, of course, gives you the full name.
Yeah, I nod to keep a general eye on it. You know, it's one of those things where if that name shows up again, considering we're not doing anything to do with it, that would be weird.
From what I understand, he's come across this information of the whereabouts of the ship, because the whispers is that the ship was discovered, and the whispers was that he's the one that's in charge of the peoples that have discovered the ship, lost in the asteroids. Now, this could have been pure happenstance, but what's the likelihood that this would be discovered a second time in such a short period of time with no reason for Solarians to be in that asteroid belt? You see where I'm coming from.
Of course. Yes.
The idea that
Yeah.
your friend has leaked that information to somebody who is anti-Krogan, recovery, that is pro-genophage, unless he's really hoping to start a new war between the Krogan and Solarians.
I do not believe Cadel Olan hopes for a war. I believe Cadel Olan hopes for a profit.
I was referring to your Krogan friend. That's who you said had leaked it. It is possible he was hoping for
It's
war.
much harder to understand his reasons to do anything, being a Krogan.
There are ways to see where a Krogan's mind goes. It's just, it's difficult for us to get there.
Yes.
Thank you. This is extremely important and something that will be acted upon immediately. You were looking for, of course, your something specific you had come here for. So you wanted the what's it called? The black slab? Black slab.
Yes.
I have one for you. It's perfectly clean. So there's untraceable by any stretch of the imagination. This is not just any black slab, though. This was this for you?
This is for Cadel Olan.
Oh, for him. Okay, well, it has the ability to fabricate an Omni Blade, as is normal, as well as all the other basic functions. It'll come off as an Omni tool to the extent that is very common and easily known, and it will not be detectable as being what it is unless somebody were to actually handle its functions very in depth. So,
Perfect. That's exactly what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
But I will still, despite giving him this weapon of absolute power, try to rein him in or slow him down in the slightest.
Play it close to the chest, but you understand how these things work. You need to be very, very close to it. You need to walk that fine line, otherwise you'll never be able to unearth the things that you have thus far. And then with this, she's actually going to stop and stop and turn to you as you guys like overlooking like a waterfall or whatever. She's going to like place her hand on like your
Cinematic.
elbow, on like, the like around your elbow. It's like a gentle hold there. And she says, I understand that this has been taxing for you physically as well as spiritually. Decisions have been made and tasks have been dealt with that you feel uncomfortable with. But understands that what you've discovered, the information that you've brought forward, what you continue to do, and the things that you will that will come to pass, these have made everything that you've experienced, everything that you're going to experience, worth it. We are actually curving the greater evil. We're actually stopping bad things from happening. It doesn't necessarily feel that in the moments, but take a step back and look how history will never know of the travesties that could have come to pass if this didn't happen here and now.
Of course. I, despite everything, will always be dedicated to the rest of the galaxy, but beyond that, the motherland.
You look tired. I suggest for you a week of meditation. You need it. Tell your crew you just need some time to yourself. Please, You know that there are some incredible places here where you can, with or without a companion, just take a week of meditation, just relax, find your center, find yourself, reinvigorate yourself. You need the energy, you need the drive.
Of course, especially with what's about to happen. I will take that advice to heart.
I'm sure they would understand. They value you. With that, she'll give you like a, pulls you in for a light hug, and says, of course, a spiritual goodbye, and part with you.
And then I head back to the ship and I give Cadel his back stab, and then I hold it to him, and then I show the blade, just because he hasn't had one like that before, and then I tell him how to use it, and then I give it to him.